I'm Janine Nel and I'm from Teach the Future South Africa. When I was asked to talk about Africa and being an African, it was an easy yes for me. Africa for me is a place I think that conjures up enthusiasm. Africa is a continent of energy, it's a continent of innovation and entrepreneurship. We know of farmers in rural Africa using apps to access markets for their locally produced goods. The Romans used to say always something good and new from Africa, and I think that's still relevant today, 2,000 years later, where Africans always look to innovation to make a plan, find a solution, and I think that's one of our strengths. Africa also at the moment has one of the largest cohorts of adolescents in the world, and this of course represents a huge opportunity. The so-called demographic bonus, when we have more working age people than dependents. In Africa, I think what we also should think about is further than the demographic bonus, but thinking of the triple dividend. When we think not just of the youth and the adolescents, but also about their children and the children that come after them. How are we going to create a sustainable life for them? And I think we have the tools here at the moment. I mean, Africa has had challenges, we know that, and they still have challenges. Many of them political, but Africa belongs to Africa now, and the future is something that we can create together. It's not something that's going to happen to us. We know that we need to create the economic opportunities for the youth and for the young people, and we know to do that we need a population that's healthy, that's educated, that has jobs. Otherwise that bonus and advantage we have could easily turn into a youth quake, as some people call it. Which can bring about instability, social instability, political instability. And it's not just healthy young people, it's access to good healthcare, it's access to quality education systems. We need to make sure that they're safe, that they stay away, or that the drugs and crime is minimized. We need to keep our girls in school, keep the fertility rates lower, so that there is opportunity and resources to create a life for everyone. But we also need to be sure that we take part in the fourth industrial revolution, that we have the skills to compete in it. I mean, we know countries like Ethiopia are building more than 20 new universities. We know the first universities were built in Africa. So Africa has always been hungry for knowledge and is now applying that knowledge. We can think of countries like Rwanda, the first country in the world, not just Africa but the world, where they use drones to deliver blood for mothers giving birth who otherwise might have died during childbirth. That's just such a wonderful application of Africa leapfrogging traditional developmental milestone to create a better future and to make it possible for their citizens to have the possibility of a good life. We also need to make sure that the youth understand that they can have a hand in creating their own future. They need to be able to look to that. They need to be able to look in their community and not see problems necessarily, but they need to say, how can I make a difference? And in order to do that, they need to be able to see the future. They need the tools and the skills to create those futures that they want, because the future is just not one thing, it's multiple possibilities, and it's about how do I make what happen, what I would like to see happen. And then of course we need to help them make sense of a complex and a fast-moving world. It's complex and it's complicated. So we need to make sure that they understand, how do I see through all of that? How do I see through all of that, take the bits that I need and still make a difference? And I think if we can do that, then we need to know that the future of Africa is in safe hands. Thank you.